Hi. I thought I would read just a few words out of Perfect Practice and give folks kind of an idea of what the book is about and introduce myself. If you don't already know me, we could have an intimate fireside visit. My name is Mary Cornick, and I live here in Oregon, in a place called Gaston, next to a beautiful lake and in the foothills of the Coast Range Mountains. I wrote the book Perfect Practice, and it's also, the subtitle is A Philosophy for Living a Transparent and Authentic Life. And what it took to write the book was a journey of many lifetimes. I tell about stories of sobriety, of relationship, of finding my own voice, my own truth. But mostly, it's about acceptance, not only of myself, but of others, and of hardship, acceptance of the difficulties in life, and actually more than acceptance, it's about utilizing that difficulty to enhance and grow. And on the back of the book, there are some bullet points that kind of point to what's inside, and one of them is turning pain into purpose. And that's what I mean by accepting the difficulties and gaining from it. Is life can be painful. It certainly is for many people, and was for me for a great many years. And so I write about how that changed, and for me it was very much related to my relationship and my love for horses and nature. So I talk about that a lot, but it really is not a horse book. It is more a book about life, and horses just happen to be a beautiful metaphor for life. The other points that are mentioned on the back here is conflict into confidence, and how we find that within conflicts we can learn another way, we can learn choices and make decisions that remove us from the conflict without having to remove the conflict, because a lot of times that's not possible. But rather than being subject of the conflict, we can be objective of the conflict, and in that way open to many other ways of seeing it. And that leads to fear and to curiosity as well, because as we make better decisions, we can start to see that if we're sensing fear, discomfort, it's really like a barometer that points us in the right direction. And when that happens, it's like being at a crossroads. You can go either way. You can make a decision that is about building more fear and more anxiety, and a lot of times that's made in denial or defense. Or we can use the fear to understand ourselves a little better, a little deeper, and look at some of the things that have to be resolved in our lives. Horses are another great example for that, because they're 1,000 pounds of self-preservation, and when they're fearful, if we don't resolve it, it can lead to a lot more pain. So that's what's inside the book. I didn't choose anywhere specifically to read from today. I just thought I would pick it up and open it somewhere in the middle. And let's see what comes up. This subchapter is called "And So It Is with Life," and it's in the chapter Willingness. For me, turning loose means being willing. I feel the difference in my body when I'm willing and inspired. A sense of willingness lends itself to an open mind and an open heart, and that openness is expressed through every cell. Free will is my most precious gift. It is where I find my passion, inspiration, and creativity. Responding to life from my true and free will fills me with energy. Body, mind, and spirit all seem to work together in harmony when I'm living from an inspired will. In my life, the will has been the messenger of miracles. Letting go of our acquired judgments, criticisms, and outdated thoughts can be tough. But once we experience the feeling that comes from believing in ourselves, we wonder how we could have waited so long. When I turn loose of my judgments and conditions, and my expectations and contradictions, I open my mind and find my natural cadence waiting there. Opening a closed mind unleashes the will, and the body naturally feels more at ease. Perfect practice takes practice. We have to begin from where we are. Freeing the will is rarely accomplished by using the word should. Should, it seems, is counterintuitive to the will. It has a confining margin. All our shoulds seem to get in the way of our wants. One thing that tends to trigger my resistance is laundry. I just see it as an endless should. I want to ride my horse, but I should do laundry. What I've learned is that sometimes I can bargain with myself. I'll ride my horse first, but then commit the rest of the day to catching up on chores. Or I'll say, just do these 2 things, then you can go ride. Often I end up doing a lot more than just 2 things on the list. The key for me is staying conscious in the process and not letting myself drift into self-pity or deprivation. Life desires expression. This expression is free-willed when it is allowed rather than forced. Just as it is in nature or art, expression through an open mind can create masterpieces. Willingness is freedom, and freedom is the language of the soul. Life wants to move through our bodies, not from them. Seeing the value of free will was important for me to learn with horses, but it also plays a role in my life experiences. Allowing rather than forcing was crucial in writing this book. There were times I tried to write and the material just wasn't ready to come forth. It needed time to soak. To express myself authentically meant I had to allow the space and time required to gather my thoughts. I couldn't force my expressions and still have them be authentic. Each one of us is a unique expression of the will of creation, yet we tend to interrupt the dialogue through force. Well, that's a little taste of perfect practice, and if you've heard of it and you've been thinking about getting a copy, I actually can mail out personally signed copies from here, which is a lovely option. It's like $3 shipping, or you can pick it up at Amazon. You can order through our website, marycorning.com. You can, it's at all major online bookstores, and if you have a local bookstore in your town that you love to support, which I encourage, you can ask them to order it because it is available in their index. So I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I hope you'll have a look at Perfect Practice, a philosophy for living an authentic and transparent life. I'll put a link on the post to Amazon, which is probably the most widely used shopping mecca. And I thank you so much for your time. I hope you'll have a beautiful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.